Hello, hi everybody. It's Colleen with Couture. Hope everybody's having a fantastic Wednesday. It is super stormy here in New Jersey tonight. So if you hear some thunder boomers, you get a bonus. Let's come in and let's get this shared. And then we can get to rocking and rolling. Because tonight's project... there we go. Tonight's project is all about Club Couture, which is a pretty awesome thing if you ask me. So what you see sitting on my desk right here is our July Club Couture. And I had sprayed a lot of water on here because I'm going to show you kind of how you change out your designs. We're going to start from beginning to end, sort of working a little bit in reverse, in that we're going to remove our previous Club Couture, which, as I mentioned, was July, the pinwheels, super cute. And like I said, I just had it setting in water, just sprayed it a few minutes before I came live, let the water kind of do the work for me, so that all that I have to do is come in here with my paper towel and remove the chalk paste, because it's like liquid chalk, right? Hi Kim, how are you? So it just comes right off with water. So it's pretty easy to change out your designs. Now that 4th of July is over, I am changing out my decor. Bye-bye pinwheels. Even though you were super adorable, you served me well for the holidays, and now I need to change you out, which is awesome. Pretty cool though that I still have the transfer. I can still use it again next year for the holidays. So that is pretty amazing. Love that. Let's give a little more spritz of water on here, and then we will clean her up for good. This is our 10-inch round chalkboard. It's double-sided. It's pretty stinking cute. It's got a little hole in the top there for you to put your ribbon, or it comes with a like a burlap string so you can hang it, but I like to add some festive ribbon. So I had some really cute 4th of July ribbon on there earlier, which I removed. And so now, voila, our design is completely gone. Pretty easy, right? And like I said, they are double-sided, so you could have a project on both sides. And as you know, I always like to try to have a holiday design on one side and then an everyday sentiment on the other, so I can just keep flip-flopping. But in this case, I actually didn't have a design on the back of this one. So we're just going to use our, remove our design that we had so that we can start fresh. And we're going to use this month's super cutie patootie little transfer that is called... What are you called? You're called Looking Sharp. That's what you're called. Isn't he adorable? It's a little hedgehog. He's so stinking cute. So as a designer, we actually get Club Couture as part of our monthly $19.99 subscription fee. That includes our website and includes us getting a sneak peek of the Club Couture that as customers you are eligible to take part in. So let's go ahead and open this guy up. We're going to label the backs of the pieces so that we know which pieces are which. There's only 4 pieces, so it's not that difficult, but we're going to go ahead and remove them anyway. We've got our nice little cut lines right here. So we're going to go ahead and remove. And I am not the world's best cutter. Hello Meg, how are you? So as I was saying, this is our Club Couture for August. So what is Club Couture? Club Couture is a awesome, really economical way to get your hands on a transfer and chalk paste samples, chalk paste packets, I didn't mean to say samples, chalk paste packets that coordinate with that transfer of the month. It's always a surprise, which is fun, so it's a little happy mail that gets sent to you after the 5th of every month. So this being August, what would happen is if you were interested in becoming a Club Couture subscriber, if you join today, when you go on to join, you would actually be billed and charged next month. So you would become a Club Couture subscriber on September 5th. However, there is the one-time option when you first join that you can get that month's transfer, which would be this one. So that's why we're working with this cute little patootie tonight, our little hedgehog. So you also, let me just write on the back here, look sharp. And then this is layer number 1. This is number 2. And the little details on top are number 3. So that's how I'm just going to remember them. You can write what it is, you can write back, you can write whatever you want on it, just so long as you know what is actually the back side of the transfer. So what I want to show you real quick, I'm going to bring in my iPad real quick because I want to show you, as I was mentioning, if you decided to join today or anytime this month, you have the option. You would not be subscribed until September 5th, and that's when the $19.99 would be charged to your card. However, you can opt to pick this month's transfer, and that would be $19.99 plus shipping and tax. If you decided not to opt for this month's and you just wanted to start fresh in September, it would be $19.99 for everything, and that is plus tax, and you get free shipping. So that's pretty awesome. But additionally, the first time you decide to join Club Couture, you can take advantage of the beginner's kit. And so the kit includes a multi-tool squeegee white chalk paste in the 3-ounce size. You've got your 2 board erasers, you've got your awesome Aiden chalkboard, and your board and base. And that is all for $69.99, which is a few dollars, because the retail on all of that is $76.94, so you're paying $69.99 plus tax and shipping on that. So that's a one-time. If you decide to join as a Club Couture subscriber, that would be your one-time option to go ahead and take part in that. I hope that makes sense. I know it sounds a little confusing, but it really isn't. And so the other perks of becoming a Club Couture are that they offer discounts. We just actually had a bounce back coupon in July that was good for August. So you have to be a Club Couture member to take advantage of that. So that kind of gives you the lowdown on what exactly all this Club Couture talk is that I'm always mentioning on my pages. So what we are going to do, I'm going to move these other pieces out of the way, and we are going to start with our little hedgehog's body, and I'm going to remove the transfer. Remember that this is the shiny side. This is where the transfer is going to return to. That's why we label the back, so we don't put it on the wrong side. So let's get him fuzzed up, and the reason I'm fuzzing him up is because I'm using him on a chalkboard. So whenever we're using on chalkboard, mirror, or glass, or wood, or things of that nature, we're going to chalk it up. I mean, fuzz it up. We're going to chalk it up now that we fuzzed it up. But we first fuzz it. Goodness gracious, that's a lot of chalking and fuzzing and everything else going on. All right, so we're going to put our little hedgehog down here. I think right there is good, because I think I want to put the words up top. Yeah, that'll be perfect. We'll put the words right there. So once we have our transfer down, just want to make sure we're not seeing any bubbles, and I can see a bubble here. So what happens in that case, if you see a bubble, you can go ahead and use the squeegee, and that will help you to get any of those air bubbles out. I'm just kind of using the side of the squeegee. You can use whatever side you want. But all I care about is just getting those bubbles out. And so what I tend to do is hold it at an angle, because when you hold it and you've got the light on it, it gives it a good glare, and you can really see the bubbles in there. Right now I'm not seeing any, so I think we are good. So what I thought I would do for tonight is use the colors that come with the Club Couture for our looking sharp little hedgehog dude. So the colors are Storm and Guava and Almond, and I don't have Almond. I am so sorry. That is actually one of our brand new colors, and I don't have a chalk paste packet single of Almond. So what I decided to do was pull out my 3-ounce jar of iced coffee. It kind of looks a little, it's a little darker than Almond, but it's going to work for tonight. But I just wanted to show you how this works. So basically, when you get your chalk paste packet, you're going to need the packet, and that's going to help to soften up the chalk paste in there, because we always want our chalk paste to be that nice yogurt-like consistency, and sometimes it just sitting in the packet, it will settle. Just like when we open up our 3-ounce jars, we stir them. So this is kind of the equivalent of stirring, but with a paste packet. Okay, So what I'm gonna do, now that I feel like that's a good consistency, just getting all around here, so I'm just gonna go ahead, where did I put my scissors? Right here. I'm gonna go ahead and get my scissors, cut off the edge here. And then I'm actually just gonna squirt it right on my mat here, because I can wash this off. I don't feel like I'm gonna need a huge amount, so I'm just gonna put that much down and we'll see if that works. Now I still have a good amount in here. I could probably make 2 or 3 more hedgehog bodies, but for now we're just gonna squirt that out and then we're gonna put it right here onto our surface. Now you may have noticed these little registration marks right here. These are what's gonna help you to line up so that the hedgehog's face and then his cute little his nose and his little cheek are gonna line up. So I'll show you what I mean. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna chalk those registration marks, and they're gonna come through the silk screen so that when we're lining up, it'll be in perfect spot. So let's go ahead and grab a bunch of this. This is actually called Storm, but I say gray, it's Storm. And we're just gonna go ahead and cover, like I said, just the silk screen part. When you apply some pressure with your squeegee, see how it just pulls that right on across? Makes a nice thin layer on there, and that is exactly what we're looking for. I'm just gonna scoop up a little bit more. And that is it. That is all you have to do for Chalk Couture. It's pretty easy to work with. Just about anybody can use it. I've seen children use it. I've seen some seniors using it. It's actually great for all ages, honestly. The only learning curve that I have found is you just got to kind of figure out how to work the squeegee. But once you get that pressure down and you know that you just need this thin little layer on here, it's easy, I promise you. Let me grab a paper towel, because you see all that excess there? I didn't even need that. So that's what I'm saying. You could easily probably get about 3 or 4 at least of the bodies in the Storm color that you've got in your paste packet. I'm just going to get rid of that real quick. Clean that off. We're going to remove our transfer just by pulling left to right or top to bottom, okay? And you see the little registration marks that came out on there? Hopefully that's coming through. Okay. Oh, shoot. I forgot to put water in my bin. I did it again. Let me grab some water. Because I like to throw my transfers right into water as I'm working. So this is the bucket that I just filled with water, and I threw my transfer in the bucket with the chalk side down in there, okay? And that's my board eraser floating around in there. That's gonna help us clean it. Now you can see I've still got some good, well you can't, but trust me, I can feel it. There's a good amount of chalk in there. So I'm just gonna kind of try to push that down to the bottom. And then I would just throw a paper clip on it. And then that way you can save it for later. Let me just get this, I just made a mess here. I'm just trying to get the chalk off. There we go. Yeah, I would just fold that down, or if you have a little container that you can put it in, you could always just clip it and then save that for a little bit for another time. So let's go ahead and dry our hedgehog's body. And the reason that we dry, I'm just helping the drying process up a little bit with my heat tool. You can use a hair dryer or you can let it dry on its own. That is perfectly fine too. And there we go. And then we're going to use typically you would be using the almond, but because I don't have the almond paste packet, we're going to go ahead, and that's orange only because that's the pigment in there settling to the top. So once we give that a good stir, that's going to stir all of that pigment back in there, and you are good to go. You've got that nice yogurt-like consistency, which is perfect. That's what we want. Okay, so I just want to make sure that I've returned my chalkboard back to room temperature, because you don't want to go ahead and put his cute little face on here and try to chalk it with the board still being hot. It's going to dry your chalk paste really quickly. So we want to avoid that. So this is good and dry, not going anywhere until I decide that I want to remove it with water. Okay, so let's go ahead and fuzz this guy. Now we're not technically layering here. This is actually the front part. It's not till we get to part 3 that we will be layering and putting the cute little nose and the little cheek on here on our hedgehog. So remember where I said, let me set him here, that we chalked the registration marks, right? Got some fuzz on here. We chalked the registration marks. So what we're going to do is we're going to match up those registration marks. It's a little hard to see in here because my lighting is terrible, but you can also use the space that you had. I mean, you can tell that that's where his ear goes. I can see that I'm pretty much on there. I think I'm pretty much on there. This one's easy. This one's not too hard to match up. Some of them are a little bit harder, but you can tell there was a space in there for his ear, and I can see the edge of his body right here. So I know we're good. But I want to bring in that, let me grab another squeegee, because I want to make sure, again, this has a pretty decent sized silk screen area to it. So you really just have to be careful that you are indeed getting all of the bubbles out. So again, I'm going to use my little squeegee this time and do the same thing. I'm just kind of spreading this out to make sure, because that's, like I said, that's a decent size silk screen area. So you just want to make sure that you are getting all those bubbles out. And then again, I'm going to hold it back up at that angle, let the light hit it so I can see if there's any bubbles in there. And I feel like I got them all out. I think we are good. Okay. I think I was pretty right on. No, I'm not actually. How am I so off? Let me just make sure before I say that, because I feel like I'm really off from my registration marks. Let me just see something. Just want to be sure I've got him on here right. All right, I think that's better. Let me see. Oh yeah, that's better. Okay, let me just get the bubbles out again. I was actually off a little bit, matching up the marks. There we go. All right, just gonna get those bubbles out one more time. Okay, and now we're going to come in with the almond, and we're going to do his cute little face with the almond. I just want to check one more time. Okay, I think we're good. Now we can do the almond. Okay, and again, all we need to worry about is his face. I'm curious because I kind of feel like I'm still off a little. I'm going to chalk that registration mark and see if I was really off or not. Okay, again, just a very thin layer. Any excess chalk paste goes right back into your jar. Then we're gonna peel back. No, I was on there pretty good. Yay, there he is. I was actually, you know what? That's why I was off slightly down here. So I had, his angle was off a little bit, and that was completely my fault. So I should have had it angled a little bit further and gotten the registration mark better. Well, we live and we learn, right? So there's a little tiny gap. It wasn't exactly perfect, but I got it right here and I missed it down here. So, lesson learned, but not a big deal because we can always wash it off and do it again. We've still got plenty in our paste packets if we need to. I'm just going to keep on going with this for tonight. But that was a great lesson. I should have really made sure I was on there on the bottom, and I wasn't. Okay, let's go ahead and put our squeegee because we are done with our iced coffee, which, like I said, you would get the almond color paste packet. But we're done with this one tonight. We're going to use guava, which I do have a paste packet of that. So we're going to do the same process. We're going to make sure that we are kneading the packet. There's some thunder boomers going on. We're kneading the packet so that we're making sure that it is that good consistency that we need. Okay, now I'm hoping I'm not going to mess up the little details on his face because my bottom wasn't matching. All right, we're going to see how it goes. Hopefully it comes out okay. Now this one is going to be a layer because I'm going to put the nose on the edge here, but the little cheek mark that's going to go right here is going to be on top of the iced coffee that we put on there. So whenever we're layering, we want to make sure that, number one, the first base layer is good and dry, which it is. Number two, that we fuzz our transfer really well. And then number 3 is that we're not pushing down quite as hard with our chalk paste and the squeegee, okay? And I'll show you what I mean. I'm gonna try not to put my head right in the camera. Okay, I can see that I'm definitely on there for that registration mark up top. It's the bottom one that has me concerned, because I was off on my second layer. Okay, I can see, I can see the almond one through here, so that's the one I'm going to go with. I'm going to hold this up and bring it a little closer for you guys so you can see. So I can see it through there, and I can see the almond through here, so I feel like I'm going to be good. I can see his nose is right at the tip there, so we should be good with his nose and his little cheek. Again, I'm not pushing down too terribly hard with the transfer because I don't want to pull up the first layer. So I feel like we've kneaded our chalk paste pretty well. Again, we're just going to cut the edge here. I'm just going to make a little cut because what I'm going to do, we only need the tiniest little bit for this section. And then when we do the words, let me just bring some of that up here. Here we go. So I'm just getting a tiny little dribble out of here because that's all I really need, right? Just to cover his little cheek and then his little nose. Perfect. All right, I'm just going to stick that squeegee there for a sec. And then we're going to come back, and I did not put a lot of pressure when I did his cheek and his nose. Oh my gosh, he's so cute. I love it. Even though I had the little gap there, I'm okay. He's really stinking cute. And our last but not least, his nose came out pretty on point there, I must say. And then we have room for our looking sharp up top. But let's remove our registration marks really quickly. And all that we're going to do that is just wet our paper towel just a little bit. I'm trying not to get any splashes on my surface. And then we're going to just go ahead and wipe off the registration marks since we are done with those. And lesson learned to make sure I really had it matched up before I proceed with chalking. But we learn, right? We're all still learning. That's part of it. Never too old to learn something new. So let's go ahead and fuzz the looking sharp words that we're going to go ahead and put on the top. I love this. That guava looks so good on the iced coffee too. I like it. Okay, I always fuzz 3 times before I start. Just making sure that this is dry up here. And I'm going to set this down for a second because I'm seeing a tiny little spot that I want to just remove here. There we go. Okay. Now we're good. I saw a little streak up top, so I just wanted to get rid of that before we proceeded. I feel like my hedgehog's a little crooked, so I'm going to try to do a good job with getting the words on here a little bit better. Let's bring that down because I think I want to put some ribbon up here. Or I wonder if I should put it down here. No, I'm going to do it up here. I'm just going to bring it down a little bit so that I can put some ribbon up here. Okay, so we're going to continue on with our guava, and again, I just need a little piece here just for the words. And I'm just, this time, instead of putting it on my mat, I'm going to just go ahead and put it right onto the squeegee. All right, I have to get more up here because it's down the bottom of the thing. Here we go. That's what I need. Perfect. That's plenty. You'll see how easy this is. Once I just simply pull straight across, you see that you really don't need a lot at all. And then one more time, we're going to go back over to get any excess back off and get all our lines out of there and have our nice thin layer of chalk paste on there. Perfect. Okay, I'm getting chalk paste everywhere now. And then, remember, we're always going to peel left to right or top to bottom. Oh my gosh. Guava is really a pretty color. I think this is the first time I've ever used guava. I really, really love it. Really cute. Okay, all of our tools are going to go into that pan of water that I showed you earlier. And then I want to say, I thought I had, I don't know where they went. I thought I had a paper clip. I was going to paper clip my little paste packets so that I could use them again. I really love this guava, and I think I'm going to use it on another project. But first, let's just move those out of the way. First, I want to grab another paper towel and clean up my little boo-boo here. And then I'm going to bring in my pan of water to show you how we're going to go ahead and clean all the tools and all the transfers pieces. Oh my gosh, she's so adorable. Okay, everything should be nice and dry now. Should be able to run my hands all over everything, not going anywhere until I decide I want to take it off. So adorable. This would make an awesome, why does my brain always go to onesies? I guess because I have a lot of new babies in the family lately. But my brain went right to making a cute onesie out of this. I think that would be adorable. Okay, let's bring that bucket in. And then once I get done cleaning the transfers and putting them away, I'm going to see if I have some cute ribbon that I can maybe add to that to kind of jazz it up. I think that would be adorable. Alrighty. Let's bring in our towel, and then we're going to go ahead and just use our board eraser to go ahead and clean all of our tools. Remember, all of our tools, including our squeegees and our stirry sticks, our multi-tool, everything is reusable. So just go ahead and take care of them by cleaning them and use them again and again. It's great. And I love that these guys come in a little 12-pack so that if you're doing multicolored projects, you've got 12 little mini squeegees, which is perfect, because if you only have a few and you're trying to do a big project that has many colors, then you have to keep stopping and cleaning your squeegees in between. So it's nice just to have that, the option of having a bunch of little mini squeegees. So we're getting all of our pieces, we're cleaning them in the pan. Most of them are already pretty much cleaned off because, as I said, once you're kind of putting them right into the pan of water, the water's doing the job for you of cleaning. But then we just use the board eraser just to finish off and get rid of any excess. See what I mean? See how there's barely anything left on there? So we're just going to use the board eraser to get that off. We're looking just to make sure the silkscreen area is clear. It's okay if you have some staining on your transfers, that's a-okay. You just don't want anything left behind in the silkscreen that will maybe, you know, prevent you from using it again if you've got some dried chalk paste in there. So you just want to make sure, just basically making sure that your silkscreen is good. Okay, and again, we're cleaning up all the tools so that we can use them again. And then finally, I like to come in and just use the paper towel to get some of that excess water from the back. It becomes like second nature because I've been doing this for 2 years now, and so every project I'm like militant, I guess, in how I take care of the transfers and things like that, just because I want to get the most use out of them. You know, it's hard. You got to work hard for your money, as the song goes, and I like to get, you know, the most bang for my buck out of the money that I spend. So just taking the extra step just to clean everything. I'm using a disinfectant wipe. That's the final step. Cleaning the front and then cleaning the back, and we're going to end it on the sticky side and let it sit there to dry. And pretty much all of these chalk pastes were light enough that they didn't stain anything, so we are good. Okay, last piece. Again, cleaning the front and cleaning the back. And then here's where it comes back into play, where we labeled the transfers so that we know which goes to which piece. So, number 3 was this guy right here. And number 2 was here. And then we have our hedgehog body, number 1, that's easy enough to match, and then our words. So let's start with our words, since that was cleaned first and hopefully dry. You can see that the transfers are dry and they are sticky again. The nice part about the wipe too is it helps to get some of that buzz off that we put on there earlier. So that's nice to be able to get some of that. Doesn't get all of it off all the time, but it does help to get a good amount of it off. And then, whoop, I think I messed that one up a little bit. I'm just trying to get the transfer back on here, onto the shiny side, not the side that we labeled. Sometimes I'm always a little off, but it's okay. And that's it. Cleanup is easy peasy with this. And now I can go ahead and make that onesie if I want to. I can make another project with the hedgehog. I can combine some of my transfers to come up with a new design if I want to. I can make this as a gift and give it to someone that may be having a baby. Oops, I am definitely not doing this right. Let me flip it this side. Oh, I can see this way. Okay, perfect. Now we've got them all back on here. So that is our, where did I put my, there it is, my packaging. So again, all the instructions for taking care of your transfers are always on the back of your transfer. And I think that kind of covers everything you need to know about Club Couture. Again, pretty awesome if you decide that it's something that you'd like to try. It's a 3-month commitment, but if you're not happy with it after 3 months, you can certainly cancel. I don't think you're going to want to, because these transfers that come monthly are so adorable and so on trend. I think you're going to be seeing hedgehogs everywhere in the big box stores, because Couture certainly does their homework when it comes to trendy home decor pieces. Hey, how are you, Jess? We're just finishing up our adorable little hedgehog project tonight and talking all about Club Couture. I just got a little drop of water when I moved my bucket, so I just want to make sure I get that off. And then we're going to come in and we're going to add some super cute ribbon to this little guy and make him look snazzy with some cute ribbon. Isn't he adorable? I love him. He's really cute. I was just saying how everything I look at now, I want to put on a baby onesie because of all the new babies in the family. My brain goes right to onesies, and I think that this would make an adorable onesie for a baby. Alrighty, so as I mentioned, this was everything that came in the August Club Couture minus the almond packet. That's the only one that I didn't have, but we used the iced coffee instead. So this is everything that you would get in your Club Couture subscription. Additionally, you would get the PDF instructions on how to do this, and also a video to show you, to walk you through how to put your little looking sharp dude together. And so that's everything in the monthly Club Couture. That is $19.99 plus tax and free shipping. Again, if you decide you want to sign up tonight, you would have the one-time option of getting this month's cute little hedgehog, and also the kit that comes, that I showed you the picture of earlier, everything in that awesome, amazing kit. So those two are the things that you would only have the option to choose upon sign up. Otherwise, you would then start your Club Couture subscription on September 5th. That's when you would be billed, and that's when it would be shipped to you, and it's a surprise. I love that. So thanks again so much for watching. And if you have any questions about Club Couture, please just, hit me up in the comments below. I'd be happy to talk to you about that. I think it's something awesome. I think it's a great little, relatively inexpensive $19.99. I mean, it's under 20 bucks. Who doesn't have 20 bucks a month to make some awesome home decor pieces? I think it's pretty awesome. All right, guys, thank you so much. Have a fantastic rest of your Wednesday, and I will be back tomorrow. Bye.